Good news everyone, Mr. Page here with another deck tech video. Today we're taking a look at Jeskai Superfriends. I got this deck list from the top 8 at the Grand Prix Denver on the weekend. You see Drew Stewart was piloting this deck. And I was excited to see this for two reasons. First, I just love Jeskai Superfriends. I had a lot of fun playing it in previous formats. So I'm happy to see it's coming back, but also the fact that we're running so many sweepers. That'll help us fight the new emergent deck on the scene, Bantscape Shift, a lot. If we can respond to their horde of 30-40 zombies by just clearing them off. With Cleansing Nova, Chandra, and Deafening Clarion. Those are three great answers, so this seems like a great deck to use in the current best of one format. So let's go over the cards here. We've got a huge suite of Planeswalkers. We got the full set of Narsets and Teferis. We've got some Saheelis, 2 Karns, full set of 4 Sarkhans, because he just turns all your other guys into dragons. That's how you win most of your games. You get card advantage out of the smaller ones, and then you just slap this guy down and attack for 16. We've got a Teferi in there for value. Also, his -3 is a catch-all for everything, so happy to have Teferi on the team. And Chandra, Awakened Inferno, new edition. Really good against Esper, can't be countered, comes down, you can start giving them emblems. She can shoot down a Planeswalker that's giving you trouble with the -X, she can clear a small board. Like I said earlier, she can take care of the zombie horde if that appears, so that's really good. 4 Interplanar Beacons really makes the deck tick too, because you get so much incidental life gain out of just casting your Planeswalkers, it's great. On the low end here, we've got some Ops and some Spell Pierces. For removal, we've got 4 Shocks, a Lava Coil, a Lightning Strike, and this spicy little nugget here, Jaya's Immolation Inferno. Not too sure about the utility behind this one. You do need a Planeswalker to cast it, because it's a legendary sorcery. But, man, that's powerful. But I think we're going to make some tweaks here, because like I said, we're going into best of 1. Instead of best of 3. So I'm actually going to go... We're going to go up to the full 4 Clarions. And I think I would like a Dovin's Veto main deck. And the big reason for this is Elder Spell wrecks us, and there's quite a bit of Esper running around. So this will give us a chance to answer that. They have a lot of Haymakers too. They can command the Dreadhorde you. Just having a hard counter in the main deck, I think, will be important. And I think we'll cut the Jayas and one of the Saheelis to make room for those 2 cards. And I think we'll really appreciate the extra sweepers and this little bit Haymaker answer. And we'll remove the rest of the sideboard here. And let's take this onto the best of 1 ladder, see how we can do. Okay, this looks like a pretty good opening hand. We've got all the mana colors. We've got some Planeswalkers to get us started. The Veto's not going to come in too handy against this guy. Do we want to shock ourselves for the opt? We have 3 shock lands. I think we do not. We're likely not to have very much to do turn 2 anyways. We're just going to play another shock land and then we can cast the op. Might be worth lightning striking one of these guys instead. I think what I'll do is I will shock myself for the lightning strike. And we'll wait and see if he plays a Lord or anything. He plays a Sorin. So the Veto comes in handy. think I'll just cash this guy in for a card.
You show remorse. I'll show. Trust me. I have a plan.
Want to try to hit our land drops here.
It's only a matter of time.
So let's opt for a land drop, and then we'll burn this guy. Definitely tapped the wrong mana there. Okay, we hit our land. Great. Now, we could Narset instead of burning that guy. Especially because it tapped our red. Thanks, Auto Tapper. This should have been the opt, but... Yeah, let's just go for Narset. We've got the Clarion to clean up, so we don't really want to do an individual burn on his 1/1.
There are so many missing. I have just the trick for this.
So a Nova we can't cast yet, or another Teferi. Let's go with the Teferi. If he has a weak turn, that opens us up to just play Teferi and bounce this guy with Shock up. Ooh, that's awkward. he loses the life and doesn't get the cards.
You could use some training.
That makes me tempted to just bounce that. What are options here? Okay, we can Teferi bounce that and shock this guy. Leaving Narset on the board to screw that comes into play trigger again. We could think long enough that our opponent gets frustrated and leaves. So far, so good. Let's go for another round. Okay, what do we got here? 2 beacons. They don't help us cast our spell pierce. They also annoyingly can't cast the Narset. Just because of the way the mana you get out of it can't be put back into the next one. Oh no, never mind, I'm wrong. She's not that hard to cast. Oh no, yeah, I was right, because it's different colors. You can't get blue off of a single activation. It's a pretty good hand otherwise, though. I like having both of these. 2 beacons is good. Assuming we draw another land. 2 beacon hands gain you a lot of life. 3 beacon hand. Well, that will let us cast our Narset on turn 4 at least. Okay, Steam Vents will also work. Do I want to shock myself to Spell Pierce? Yes. I think that's important because he might Teferi, and then you only get 1 chance. Good thought erasure, too. So we do need another white for this Cleansing Nova.
I have practiced with meditate and prepare.
Clarion, though, we can cast. Unfortunately, we're cashing Narset in just for 1 card and 3 life. 4th life, because of the beacon.
I must train harder.
Hostage taker eating his own guy. Because he is aware of the Clarion. So we could just go Saheeli. She'll get attacked down to 1, so then we have to clean things up. I think we're fine just knocking him down to only the hero, though. It's not like he's going to play around, or play into the Clarion. And now we can get Sarkhan out. And then this Chandra can clean up this mess. Ooh, or we do another Clarion. But I think we'll just get the Sarkhan out.
Come to me.
We'll make him answer the dragon. Pretty good answer to the dragon. So now we'll either Chandra or Clarion, I think. That might have been greedy. It was probably fairly certain that that dragon token was going to die, and then we lose our guy. So I could actually Saheeli and Clarion. Just to try to clear the way for the Chandra a little better. The big problem about that line of play, though, is they do run Thought Erasure. So if he draws another one of those, then our Chandra's vulnerable to that card. I think I'm going to... Yeah, we'll go with the Saheeli plan.
My creations are pings of beauty.
He could make us discard our Chandra, but I think this is better if he just doesn't have anything, and it's also better if he has like a single removal for a Planeswalker. The full 4 beacons. And I think I'm just going to plus here. This thing's only attacking for 2, so we can't kill either of our Planeswalkers.
Getting sizzled.
So we'll just get inevitability rolling.
Little sweaty.
I can no longer stand by and watch. I'm not ready for this quite.
She'll be back. Narset's interesting, because she'll pick up the Chandra again, but then I'm vulnerable to discard. And he'll know I have the Chandra. We could nurse it and just leave her on the board to counter this. Let's do that. So now he can't draw an extra card.
If you wish to surrender now, I understand.
And now we can, next turn we can minus her to pick up the Chandra and cast her the same turn.
Hurry.
And we say no to the card draw.
I am not going to sit this one out. No, I am not making this up as
We
I
say
go.
no to that card draw. Oh, we draw Sarkhan. Would I rather Sarkhan? If we Sarkhan plus, we can send a Planeswalker at each of them. He can defend one of them, but not both of them. Or we can just Chandra and plus her again. Yeah, let's do that.
Hone your prowess.
We'll get more emblems rolling. Especially with all this life gain.
If you haven't heard of me, then get ready to meet my blade.
The life gain might give us enough of a buffer here that even if he does take over the game, it'll be too late. Not necessarily, though. Esper's very good at gaining life. And doing huge haymakers.
I've got it.
Well, speaking of haymakers, that looks like it's probably an Elder Spell and an ultimate on Teferi. And I think the prevalence of Elder Spell is... It might be the nail in the coffin of this deck.
You are removed from time itself.
This is going to be hard to win now. Even with 2 emblems.
Let us fight.
His Teferi didn't even die. If he attacks our lands, that would suck. I kind of expected him to go after the creatures.
You just let me know if you're up for round 2. This isn't a fight you can win. This might be a bad idea. That according to plan. We need to move quickly. Only time.
Yeah. Now our Cleansing Nova is turned off.
I will consume you. No.
Just gonna get some damage. I don't want to trigger this. If we have any hope, it's the emblem race, and he'd be able to deal with these. So now we're... Oh, that sucks. That sucks. I don't think this is winnable. I will fast forward this guy for you guys, because I'm going to let it play out.
Here goes nothing.
But I don't want to make you guys wait 20 minutes for this guy to kill us and gain life out of our emblems.
Now what?
So, prepare for fast forwarding.
You just let me know.
And that will do it. His army's way too big. It outpaces us,
More like it.
even if he stopped playing cards. Okay, we got a 2-lander here. We are on the draw, so I'm going to keep it. Teferi will draw us an extra card. We are swimming in sweepers now, which could be good against a mountain. Could be bad. Looks like we're up against a feather deck. So we could strike it, or we could wait and try to get some Clarion value, but I think I'm just going to strike it. We're going to kill that while he's tapped out. They have too many instants that can defend. Now we can just Teferi that, reset him a turn. Shock will let us kill the feather. The feather didn't come back.
Hardly my worst defeat.
We've got so many Clarions, there's no reason to wait. Just clean the board up. So now our opponent is. Let's see if he gets priority here. He did not get priority. Okay, no, he is getting priority. So he's got an instant. It could be a shock or another burn spell, in which case we could Lava Coil this. But if it's any of the white instants, he could defend it. So I think it's... We'll give him credit for having one of the white defensive spells.
Who are you to call me?
Just put a dragon out.
Your end has arrived.
And there's the Reckless Rage. But he could still easily have both. Puts a card on top. Well, it was in his upkeep too, so he has the card he wanted. That was a pretty nice turn.
What's this? A dragon would rather die than
I probably should have just Lava Coiled the feather. Yeah, he's shown us all his cards now. He did not have a way to defend it. No, he had the sprint. He did have the sprint. He does not have the red mana for the sprint now, though, so let's try to kill the feather. We could Clarion and Shock, actually. Kill both his guys. He does get to dig. Scry to the bottom. All right, clean things up. Feather's back. And now he's got the red for the Samut. But we do have a Clarion. What do you got? Did not find an indestructible or a pro red. Does get both of those instants back, so that's annoying. Gideon.
I will defend the weak at every opportunity. I will lend you my strength.
Alright, we got our 6th land, so Chandra can take care of that Gideon.
Sensation.
And she'll stick around at 1 loyalty. Got shocked. So we got Clarion against 3 instants. Veto, not a horrible draw. I think we're going to have a hard time finding a spot for shock, though. I guess shock and we can veto the pump spell, but that feels bad. I guess that's where we're at, though. It would grow out of range of our Clarion if we don't deal with it now. Oh, that doesn't work at all. Fuck. It gets buffed before the shock, obviously. At least he finally doesn't get those back. He is smorking us for 7, though. I guess I'll just trade this in. And we're not quite dead, but we're pretty close. Now we're dead. That was a crappy game. One lander. Sending this one back. Keep this 2-lander on 6. Okay. Found our 3rd land. Pretty critical one. 2 3-mana planeswalkers. We're up against dinos. We're gonna get the beacon out in case I draw another beacon. Might as well get 2 life off of Teferi. Pretty good start from the dino player. We'll make him do that turn again. We'll draw our card. Jeskai Alpha. Everybody's got haste. Well, we'll clean up 2 of those. I already had haste. Well, that was the one card to keep us alive, I think. It's going to be hard to stay alive, though. We'll try the dragon route. This is worse in the sense that if he's got action, can kill it or pump his guy, we're in trouble, but it's got the higher upside if he doesn't have anything. Well, he had the Colossus. So we could have burnt this out on our own turn. . I don't know if we'd be in a lot better shape. He's not running out of gas anytime soon. Well, Saheeli can make us the chump blockers we need. I don't know if she's going to be able to make enough chump blockers to keep us going all game, but...
To the skies.
Nope. Pretty aggressive draw from the Jund Dinosaurs deck.
Listen to them. Come on. Watch this.
One blocker short. I mean, one blocker short to, you know, still have one more turn against a horde of dinosaurs still. Alright, I guess that'll wrap up this video. I was excited to see this deck top 8, but maybe it's not the right choice for best of 1. It's a blast to play, but it's very vulnerable to Elder Spell, and there are a lot of Esper players running around. So I guess if the metagame shifts more back towards red and Scape Shift decks, this might be a good choice, but Elder Spell in particular is rough, and then we did get run over by those dinosaurs, which is another deck that did really well on the weekend, so we might be seeing a lot more of that dinosaur deck too. So my recommendation, if you're hitting the ladder, don't play this deck. I would say that deck was a lot of fun if you have the cards, sure. You might be able to do some climbing with it, but if Scape Shift is an option for you, I would say this is the superior deck. I'm still a huge fan of this deck. And if you're interested in the details here, I will link my deck tech I put up yesterday for this deck. So, whatever you choose to play, I wish you luck. My name's Mr. Page. I hope you enjoyed this strategy page on Jeskai Superfriends. See you next time.